Mga kababayan, sa video ito papanoorin natin yung mga may init na patutsada ni Kong Mike Defensor laban dito sa mga kumakalaban pa rin at saka sa mga naninira dito sa 18 na mga sundalo na lumantad o yung tinatawag natin na mga 18 Marines o 18 soldier ang dapat dahil 16 ang Marine, dalawa mga Army. So 18 soldiers at narito si si Kong Mike Defensor para sagutin lahat ng mga patutsada ng mga naninira. At nakakatikim itong si Miss Karen Davila. Dahil pilit talaga ang paggigit-git ni Miss Karen Davila dito kay Kong Mike, pero itong si Kong Mike hindi nagpatinag at sinagot ng derechahan itong si Karen Davila at butata itong si ate mo Karen, mga kaibigan. Kaya bago natin pagpatuloy ang ating video, mga kaibigan, rekta muna tayo sa pag-subscribe at pag-like para kayo po ay mas maging updated dito sa mga may init at nagbabagang balita sa ating bansa katulad ng video yung papanoorin natin ngayon, mga kaibigan. Ayan, huwag na nating pahabain yung intro, mga kaibigan, at rekta na po tayo sa reaction natin dito sa video na ito. Panayam ni Miss Karen Davila dito kay Kong Mike Defensor. Panoorin po natin to.
Maker Representative Mike Defensor. Attorney Defensor, good morning to you.
Hi Karen, Mike lang, hindi tayo abogado.
Mike, okay. Oo, Mike pa rin. Okay. Unang-una, linawin na natin talaga, no, once and for all. Ano ba ang papel ninyo dito sa paglabas ng 18 Marines? Every single step of the way, what was your role?
Well, Karen, if you recall, when Sergeant Contessa came out, there were already talks about other former soldiers who worked with him to come out also and to talk about the issues of the deliveries, yung mga maleta delivery. And during that time, there were a lot of retired soldiers reaching out to them, to the retired officials also part of their group. Maraming nangyayari doon. And then eventually, Attorney Baligod, sometime, if I'm not mistaken, December, was talking to me about it. Sabi niya, nakakausap ko and we are already discussing. Sometime January again, binabanggit niya, nag-uusap sila.
But why would Attorney Baligod reach out to you? What is your relationship with Attorney Baligod?
Because Attorney Baligod also knew that I was, he knew that I was with Gutesa and that eventually, sabi niya sa akin, yung mga kasama lalabas, nakakausap ko na. So ang sabi ko, okay, and si Attorney Baligod kasi Vanguard yan UP Vanguard. So alam naman natin, in UP, yung mga Vanguard, they're connected with many military officials. So I knew that, he had a strong connection with them. And so sometime, I think, a week before that, sabi niya, ito na, meron na kaming ginawa na may mga draft na ginagawa na sila about the affidavit. Eventually, they said we will be coming out. I think it was also because marami nang na-inform or may intel reports na that there are soldiers coming out and they said, they were forced to come out that Tuesday. And sabi ko, sige, I'll help kung ano man matutulong ko. I was helping before that and I was helping during the press conference. And
Okay. Did you read the affidavits before you helped them out? Because you kept saying, even when I believe you went personally to the NBI. Tama, no?
Yes.
Did you
Yes.
go? You did say you did not take part in crafting the affidavits. Did you read the affidavits?
It was just one affidavit that I saw which eventually came out. Ito yung sinasabi ni Ombudsman Boying Rimulya and nakita ko naman. In fact, nakita ko to the signed affidavit the day before it was going to come out. The afternoon before it was going to come out. I didn't have a copy.
Okay.
I saw the affidavit and then nakuha ko lang yung copy after the press conference.
So is it right to say, Mike, that you actually assisted, no? Kasi ang sinabi mo, you helped with transportation, that you
Yes.
assisted the 18 itong former ex-Marines without you really knowing who they are. You did not vet
correct.
them at all. Kasi ang delikado rin dito, your name is involved, but did you do some kind of vetting process?
If
Saan
you recall-
nanggaling ang mga ito? Bakit sila lumabas? Sinong nagpalabas sa kanila? Who is behind them? I mean, I can't imagine just former Marines just deciding to come out on their own without anybody of some influence at least speaking with them after what happened to Orly Guteza.
Yes.
What happened to Orly Guteza doesn't inspire anyone to come out. Did you do
Exactly.
some kind of process?
Yes. Well, of course, Karen, and foremost is Attorney Levi Baligod. He was involved with the Napoles case. Kilala ko yung background niya. And as I've said, Vanguard siya. Brad siya ng tatay ko, who is also UP Vanguard. And then after that, I cannot name the names, but there were retired officials involved.
So meron. Oo.
Meron, may mga former retired officials involved and they were discussing about it. And prior to coming out, I met with the two who Sergeant Gutesa spoke with. I spoke with the two. Who
Okay,
Sergeant
sino
Gutesa
yun?
spoke with.
Pakibanggit, sir. Pakibanggit.
I forgot the names eh. Basta nung nagkita kami, ang sabi nila, "Sir, nalalala mo, nung magkakausap kayo, tinawagan ako at ang sabi sa akin, oy, kapitan niyo yung mga photos, tsaka mga videos na hawak ninyo." Sabi ko, nare-recall ko, kaharap ko siya, but I didn't know who they were. Sabi niya, "Sir, ako yun." Sabi ko, "Ay, ikaw ba yun?" Tapos yung isa naman, sabi niya, "Sir, di ba sabi ni TAP na, oy, supportan niyo ako. Lalabas ako, magsasalita na ako." Sabi niya, "Ako naman yun." So there were already two that Sergeant Gutesa spoke with. And what they said was actually what Gutesa was talking about in front of me when they were calling his comrades.
Okay. Now, the two retired officials who you say were behind, no? Is it correct putting the 18 ex-Marines together or supporting them? Tama?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Were
the
they
soldiers were...
Ano
Former
sila, Mark?
Marines?
Were they former congressmen, former
No.
military officials? Sino sila?
Military officials. There were former Marine officials who I think served at some point with some of them at kinikilala nila. And sila yung, I would think, sila yung naging conduit with Attorney Levi Baligod. And also si Attorney Levi Baligod has been closely working with these officials in the past.
Okay, because what got very confusing as everybody watched that press conference, number one is the 18 ex-Marines actually, they hit on everybody it was
Correct.
nobody understood anymore what was the point of the expose, right? So you had from former Speaker Martin Romualdez to Laila De Lima to now during Duterte's time to Speaker Lord Alan Velasco to Representative Jervy Luistro. So ang tanong ngayon, teka lang, sino ba talaga? Anong punto nito? So,
No,
Mike,
Karen.
what is the point? What is the point?
Yeah. I think, Karen, that is precisely the point. The Marines have no malice in coming out with what they're saying. Number one, I heard the report that when Boying Rimula came out, sabi niya, panahon niya ni Lord Velasco, panahon niya ni President Duterte, and I'm happy that he admitted the truth to the deliveries. I think that's the main point. As to whether it would hit Lord Velasco, as to whether it would hit the others, I cannot anymore determine that. Ang problema nga, Karen, many people would call me and say, bakit ako nadamay dyan? Bakit ako nasama dyan? Inosente ang sinabi ng mga sundalo. They were talking about what they witnessed. They're talking about what they see. And Karen, if you recall, ang unang sinasabi ng gobyerno, and up to now, that is the narrative of the government, Saldico is the mastermind of the corruption in the Philippines. Siya yung nagnakaw, siya yung head ng flood control scandal, siya yung gumawa ng pera sa basura. Siya yung pinuno o mastermind ng lahat ng to. And ito ngayon yung mga tao niya. Yung mga tao niya are saying, we delivered to this person, we saw and we witnessed this person getting money. And I think that's precisely the point. Walang politika to, walang narrative, walang script. They are talking about what they saw. As to how the ombudsman will now determine, ano ba yan, saan ba yan galing? Ang problema ka rin, sinasabi ko sabi nila Saldi ko yung boss. Pero nung nagsalita yung mga tao na mga kasama niya, na nagdi-deliver ng pera, all of a sudden discredit. So I don't anymore know, para bang ang nangyayari ngayon, yung Pilipino, yung sambayan na nakikinig, nanonood, parang, tao sila ni Saldi, and yet you do not want to investigate them. And yet you do not want to accept what they are saying. Ayaw nyo mang imbestigan sa Blue Ribbon Committee, ginugulo na kayo ng NBI, tapos wala pa magkaso para ng abogado yung ombudsman at NBI doon sa posisyon na pinipresenta ng mga sundalo.
Oo. Now, kasi in any investigation or in any expose, as we've seen through the years, it has to be focused, it's intended, there has to be a target and a conclusion that at least a result of a specific investigation. With the expose of the 18 ex-Marines, now it seems, who do we really want investigated? If I were to ask you now, who should the government investigate, considering that they've alleged that there are so many government officials who allegedly received money, and not all of them are exactly in the flood control scandal. You get me? Kumbaga, hindi na siya pinpointed into one specific crime.
Yeah, well, because I think precisely, Karen, what happened in Congress was that they manipulated the budget, inaayos nila yung budget, and organized, no, from the program allocation to the determination of each district, kung ano man yung nangyari dyan sa budget. Tapos may mga delivery. Now, I agree with you, maaaring yung iba dito is not really exactly from flood control scandals. I do not know where it's coming from. But that has to be determined by the Ombudsman and the NBI. Now, if I may talk about focusing on the issues. Number one, there is now an ongoing impeachment case. Si Congresswoman Luistro is included in the list of those given money, including some members of the House Justice Committee. I think it's only fair na tingnan itong mga taong to. Because di ba, while it is not yet the court, kahit yung fiscal o yung prosecutor, you can ask for a change of a prosecutor. Because alam mong tainted, because alam mong may nangyari na in the past, and they were given money to do or to act on a certain agenda, like impeaching the vice president, which is happening now again. Pangalawa, ano ba yung delivery dito na sinasabing malalaki? Number one is the ICC. They have to look into that if they are really serious about the ICC question, because it's a major part of the affidavit submitted by the soldiers. Number two, yung delivery.
Number three na.
Number three, sorry. Yung delivery kay Speaker Martin Romualdez. Because they are already saying that almost 3 times a week for almost two years and 8 months, they were delivering 3 times a week to the houses of Speaker Martin Romualdez. They were delivering to Aguado, to Forbes, at dun sa mga lugar identified as the houses of Speaker Romualdez, including the townhomes. Tapos nandyan si Bongbong Marcos. Nandyan si Sandro Marcos. So ito yung mga critical names that were mentioned in the affidavit, including sila Jojo Cadiz na part of that investigation. If they are really serious about what they want to achieve in the supposed corruption that's happening in the country. Kasi ito yung malalaking pangalan, and ang sinasabi nila, bakit isang buo? Pag tinignan mo yung affidavit, sinasabi naman na ako kasama si ganito, si ganyan, only about 3 or 4 of them, kami nag-deliver kay ganito. Ako naman kasama si ganito, kami nag-deliver kay ganito. And you know, Karen, if the ombudsman, really wants to establish yung corruption about this, the crime, or the NBI would like to establish the crime, kahit naman sulat lang they can do a motu proprio investigation and look at the allegations. Tingnan nila talaga ano yung krimen. Pangalawa, very critical yung sinasabi ni Saldico. Kasi ang hirap nung sinasabi nila na, kunyari, sinabi, mga sundalo, wala naman sinabing crime. Totoo. Delivery ng pera ang sinabi ng sundalo. Pero kung sinasabi niyo si Saldico yung head ng crime, siya yung mastermind, then we have to put it together. It may not happen now, Karen. I do not know if we can achieve this now. But I'm very, very sure that in the future, we will be able to establish the truth and the evidence, the facts about the corruption that we are seeing now in the country. First time, the massive organized corruption na nakikita natin sa ating bansa.
Now, you've talked about, actually, you've enumerated 3 clear points, right? 3 clear points on what the heart of the affidavit is. So then you may have some observers questioning the credibility of, number one, the witnesses and the motive of the witnesses themselves, because all three purposes or exposés benefit the Vice President, right? Parang it benefits Vice President Sara Duterte, number one. Luis Tro cannot be trusted because nabayaran din siya, hence, eto pa may impeachment. Pangalawa, si Duterte nasa ICC, nabayaran allegedly si Trillanes, di ba? Tapos colored yun. So very pro-Duterte ang ano doon. Then biglang pangatlo, biglang nag-anti Speaker Martin Romualdez, anti-President Marcos Jr. So you do have sectors. This is why some have questioned, why aren't many mainstream organizations or news outlets carrying it? Because you do have some that feel it was engineered. It was engineered by a certain camp. Probably, let's say, some feel it's the camp of the Vice President. I'm not saying it is, Micah, but yun ang pananaw ngayon because you've enumerated three and they're all politically inclined. It is not targeted to one. Di ba? Paano, ang tanong na sila, paano napasok si Trillanes doon? Paano napasok ito doon? Ano ba yun? Ano ba ang talagang expose nila?
Alam mo, Karen, hindi ako magtataka na yun ang sasabihin ng mga sundalo. Because in the first place, yung organization ni President Bongbong Marcos, in terms of the resources, was handled by Saldico and Speaker Martin Romualdez. Sila yung main resource pinanggagalingan ng pondo ng mga operation nila. Ano pang ginawa nilang operation? Di ba ang unang lang ginawang operation was the impeachment of Sara Duterte. So therefore, namimigay sila ng pera sa mga kaalyado nila. The second was to arrest President Rodrigo Duterte and bring him to The Hague. May ICC investigation. And yun din yung nakita ng mga sundalo. Yun din ang binibigyan na ng pera. You ask Saldico now, I've spoken to Saldico. Sasabihin naman niya sa iyo eh. Talagang namigay sila ng pera. Yes, I have.
Like, you've spoken to Saldico recently?
I've spoken to Saldico, if you recall, before the impeachment of BBM. Yung hindi tinanggap, I spoke to him about it. And I was talking to him.
And I'm curious, I mean, did he call you? You called him? Because where is he exactly?
I'm not sure where he is, pero kasi may conduit siya eh, na meron kaming pinag-usapan at that time, and sinasabi ko sa kanya, I need him to come out in the impeachment hearings. Wala siyang sasabing iba, but what came out in the video recordings that he came out with, yung mga kanyang sinasabi, yun lang naman yung itatanong. And kasi up to now, Karen, hindi pa official yung mga yun. Hindi pa yun napunta sa public records natin because ay tanggapin nga ng Blue Ribbon Committee. And hindi naman niya to napanotorize as of now. So anyway, going back to my point.
Yeah. So, okay.
Paano magkakaroon ng, paano hindi nila pag-iisipan, yun naman talaga yung operation nila. Di ba, pagka nagkaroon ng, I would think, may iba dyan, eleksyon. So bibigyan nila yung mga kasamahan nila. Pagka nagkakaroon ng break, tinatanong ko, sabi ko dun sa mga sundalo, bakit ba may binibigyan kayo sa townhouse ni Martin Romualdez? So hindi ho namin alam. Basta papasok doon yung mga congressmen, dalawa daw yung units. And from what I know before, isa lang ang unit ni Speaker Martin. Sabi ko, kanya na rin pala yung kabila. Yes, sir. Pag pumasok yung congressman, dala yung envelope na dala nila, lalabas dala din. And then si Speaker Martin, tatawagin sila. O kumuha pa kayo ulit ng 10. Kumuha pa kayo ulit ng 20. So, all these things na sinasabi nila, bakit walang motivation ng mga sundalo? Hindi naman sila kumite. In fact, delikado sila ngayon. Di ba? Naiimbestigan sila ng NBI. Merong mga cases na final sa kanila. Kasama din ako kay Senator Trillanes and kay Secretary Anyo. Why would they or why would we be pursuing all this? If not, gusto nito mga taong to, malaman ng taong bayan yung katotohanan sa delivery ng pera. Delikado sila ngayon. Yung kanilang pamilya, may tatlo doon, pinuntahan pa yung mga bahay nila. Tinatanong kung nasan sila. Yung immediate family nila, of course, natago na nila because we want to avoid what happened to Gutesa. So, this is the first time na may nagsasalita. And ang appeal ko lang sa authorities, particularly the Blue Ribbon Committee, is pakinggan sila. Kung gusto nilang Senado, sasabihin ng Senado, ng Kongreso, hindi totoo yun, harapin nila. And I can guarantee you, Karen, they are willing to tell the story and confront those they saw given money.
Okay, now Mike, I just want to go back to this. Did you ask Zaldico to be a witness for Vice President Sara Duterte in case the impeachment trial, in case the impeachment reaches the Senate and it becomes a full-blown trial? Is that part of the
Actually-
call? Is that part of the agenda?
No, Karen, if you recall, we filed an impeachment case against BBM. So I told him, kasi meron dun yung mga 25 billion that they accepted money. So yun ko siya tinanong na kung
I see.
pwede dito sa if and when we are called to a hearing that he becomes a witness to the presentation.
Okay, isa yon. Doon yun sa kaso nyo laban kay BBM sa
Yes.
Pangulo. Pero
Yes.
pagdating sa impeachment ni Vice President Sara Duterte, is he willing to be a witness?
I did not ask him about it.
Okay.
Hindi kami nakapag-usap tungkol dyan.
Okay, so that's one. Number two, so what essentially you're saying is that they are exposing that government money, influence, and power was used essentially to against the Dutertes. Yan yun. Other than yung pagnanakaw na korupsyon, ginamit ang pondo ng gobyerno laban sa mga Duterte. Kay Vice President Sara Duterte at kay dating Pangulong Duterte. Ganun ang overall theme.
No, there are two particular cases relating to that. The impeachment and then also the case of the ICC. Pero madami naman dito, nothing related to that eh. 'Di ba? Yung may binigay silang pera, nagpunta kaming Ilocos, nagdadala kami kay Martin 3 times a week. Hindi ba tayo interesado na ang sabi ng mga sundalo 500 million to 4 billion maximum. Nagdi-deliver kami kay Speaker Martin Romualdez 3 times a week. Meron pa kaming delivery separately sa Aguado 3 times a week. Hindi ba dapat interest natin ng lahat? Hindi ko alam kung saan napunta yun, kung panlaban ba yun sa politika, if it was against Duterte or not. Pero pondo natin yun eh. If there is a delivery of 3 times a week starting from September of 2022 until about, I'm not sure in 2025, yung exact date, hindi ba dapat interesado tayo na bilyon-bilyon yung pera na nakikita nila at ang alam natin at ang hinala natin dahil yun din naman ang sabi ng gobyerno galing kay Saldico na ito ay galing supposedly, allegedly sa korupsyon ng ating pondo.
Okay. Now, what do you make of the fact that Senator Ping Lacson, he cast doubt on these allegations because he did the math and supposedly in doing the math, lalabas daw na 805 billion pesos in cash stuffed suitcases ang perang na-deliver. So he says he considered it an insult to intelligence, right? Then he said that would mean it's 800 metric tons of weight, requiring 13,000 large luggages. In effect, he says it's impossible, you know? Itong mga sinasabing figures ng mga Marines. What's your take?
Alam mo Karen, if we compute 4 times a month sa 1 billion na lang, that's 4 billion a month. If you put it together in 12 months, that's 48 billion a year. 1 billion lang yun 48 billion a year. So let's put it at 2 years na lang, 3 years para mas madali natin i-compute. That's about 48, 96, siguro mga 130, 140 billion in total. That's only at 1 billion. Hindi, whether it's 800 billion or 2 billion or 4 billion, I think we have to really listen to them, look at the evidence, at pag-usapan ano ba yung delivery na yun. Remember, si Pangulong Erap nagkaroon ng kaso at 4 billion pesos. Si Pangulong GMA nagkaroon ng kaso at 300, yung the total fund nun ng PCSO, 360 million pesos. Ito, isang delivery, isang buwan na lang. At 1 billion, it's already 4 billion. You're talking of one delivery in one place. If there are already 2 deliveries, that's what, 260 billion? I mean, para bang sa umpisa pa lang, pinapasinungalingan nyo na yung sinasabi ng mga sundalo, ni ayaw niyong pakinggan. Di ba? Kausapin natin, harapin natin, then let's see and let's compute. Wala naman yun sa affidavit in the first place, yung 800 billion.
Oo. Mike, it's interesting that you went back to history, and I think it's important to remember that former President Erap Estrada was impeached for less. Former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo was impeached for less. Not impeached, was nakasuhan for
Charged,
less,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Charged for less. And you also have the Vice President right now who is charged for less. So,
Yes.
kumbaga, what you're trying to say is, pera ng bayan yan, dapat pakinggan. But what do you make of the fact that the ICI came out with a statement over the weekend, and I'll read it. They found no liability on the part of former House Speaker Romualdez over the flood control anomalies. Kumbaga, right now, you are seeing the ICI already clear the former House Speaker.
Karen, I saw that before pa nung December. Kasi nagsalita na yung mismong abogado ni Speaker Martin Romualdez that there was no basis to file cases against them. Kaya nagulat na ako. Yan naman yung hinihingi ng tao, parang kaya nagagalit ang lahat. From day one, we wanted to be transparent. Every time natatamaan si Speaker Martin Romualdez, the investigation stops. The time that he was invited to the ICI, wala. We didn't know what happened. He just submitted the affidavit. But I saw that. I read about the affidavit. Tapos parang wala na. In the committee, Blue Ribbon Committee, always they were citing yung parliamentary courtesy. That's why they didn't invite him. Wala. Wala mangyari dyan. Alam ng tao at galit ang tao sa nangyari. Up to now, since December, sabi ng Pangulo, may makukulong. Walang nakukulong. Lahat ng itinuturo, sabi nila si Saldico ang may problema. Nung nagturo na yung mga tao, in fact, sinabi ko nga there are deliveries to Speaker Martin Romualdez. Imbis na pakinggan nila yung mga Marines, immediately, outright lie, impossible, not true, credibility, not true. Para bang, di ba, Karen, if you file a case against a person, pupunta ka na fiscal. If you have enough evidence na para bang may basis, then maglalabang kayo sa korte. Then it's where the other side will say, mali yan. Yung credibility nyo is shot or there's wrong with what yung evidence na you're presenting. Dito, umpisa pa lang You have people talking first-hand information, they have personal knowledge, sila yung nag-deliver, may picture sila, may ledger sila, and yet, from day one, stop. Lalo-lalo na pag si Martin Romualdez ang nadamay.
So my last question, I think we don't have enough time, 2 minutes left, but are you still optimistic? I mean, just hearing yourself right now with what you've said, umpisa pa lang, kinlear na, ayaw pakinggan, sinabi na sila ng NBI, ikaw din, sinabi na, pumunta ka ng NBI, you have the ombudsman already stating that this happened before, during the time of Duterte, and the ombudsman criticizing you as well. Let's not forget that. Kahit papaano, meron pa rin. I mean, do you still believe in any sense of impartiality at this point? Frankly speaking, I mean, be honest.
No, I think, I'm being honest, yung impartiality, the justice that we're all, not only me, I think the Filipino people, lahat nagsasabi, we want to see this, we want it to be transparent, wala kaming judgment on all these things, but it has to be on record. And people have to know ano ba yung nangyari, and you have to call on the others. Ito hindi nakikita ng taong bayan. So it's not just me. As to whether we will continue the fight, definitely. I think I embody the sentiment of many of the Filipinos na nakikita nila may mali, may corruption, may dapat may managot at may pera na dapat masoli. And politically, morally, this is the correct thing to do. People should speak out. Marami na nagsasalita, marami pang lalabas. At naniniwala naman ako in the end, they cannot hide it. They cannot set it aside. Eventually, lalabas ang katotohanan. At naniniwala ako, itong mga sundalong to, from Gutesa to the 18 Marines, walang motibo to, wala tong objective na kung ano man, nagtrabaho lang sila at nakita nila na ito pala yung pera ng korupsyon na binabanggit at alam nila yung nagiging epekto nito at nakikita nila sa mga Pilipino. From PhilHealth funds being taken, nababaha yung mga tao, maraming namamatay. Ito yung mga epekto na nakikita nila.
Okay. Is the Vice President in any way supporting your cause or the 18 Marines?
The Vice President gave a statement, nabasa ko yun, na sinasabi niya, pakinggan nyo yung 18 Marines. But I have not spoken to her. I've not met her about it. We have not discussed anything about it. Hindi ko pa nga siya nakakausap for the longest time. Pero, for me, itong lumalabas na to, it's not just a concern of the Vice President. Ang tingin ko concern niya dito personal because nakita niya paano inoperate yung tatay niya, si Pangulong Duterte. But more importantly, I think yung taong bayan. Dapat makita nila kasi Karen, if this continues na kaya ng Kongreso, ng Committee on Appropriations alongside with the Senate, na ayusin yung budget natin, tapos i-organize yung corruption, kawawa tayo. Walang mangyayari sa ating bansa. This is the situation that we will see in the future na imbis na natapos sana yung subway, kinuha yung pera, nilagay sa iba. Imbis na, for example, now we're talking about yung gera, tumataas ang presyo. Kung yung palang pondo nilagay sa tamang irigasyon para dun sa ating mga magsasaka, these are all directly affecting us. And sabi ko nga sa mga liberal, kung si Pinoy buhay ngayon, nagwawala na rin yan at kasama ko na isa sa nagsasalita tungkol dito sa problemang to.
All right. On that note, I want to thank you. We don't have enough time, but we can speak again. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. House lawmaker, former House lawmaker Mike Defensor. Thank you so much for joining me, Mike.
Thank you.